Hello everyone, welcome to another video on my channel. In this video I am swatching out and organizing my newest art materials, the Derwent Inktense pencils, and I am trying them out in a full illustration. I received some Inktense pencils back in December for Christmas, and 2 weeks ago or so I bought myself a set of 12 pencils as well. When I got them I played a little bit in my sketchbook to try them out, but I didn't create a full illustration with them so far, so I wanted to do that in a video. First I wanted to swatch them out because these are some water soluble pencils and they look quite different on paper dry versus when you activate them with water. And while I am swatching them out, I also put them in an older case which I already had to have them all of them in one place. I also realized when I was swatching them out that I have 3 pencils which are duplicates, because first I got the open stock pencils and after that I bought the set, and 3 colors which I already had came in the set as well, but I am not mad about that. So I swatched them out on a watercolor paper, the same type which I create later the art on. It's a Canson watercolor paper. So I'll let you to enjoy the rest of the swatching part, and I will come back when I create the line art for the illustration and I will speak a little bit more about what I am creating. So when it comes to the illustration part, I decided that I will create another tarot card in my illustration style, which is a series which I create for some time now. But I don't want to rush this series and I take my time to create each piece whenever I feel so. So I am creating here the line art and the inking for the Moon Tarot card, and if you want to skip this part of the process you can go forward in the video when I am coloring with the Derwent Inktense pencils. But I like to include this part in my videos as well because maybe some of you are interested in the whole process of my workflow. I created the line art with the Faber-Castell fine liner in black, and where I wanted to have a pure black shapes I used a black drawing ink to fill in the shapes. In this series I tried to create each piece as cohesive with each other as possible, so in general I draw some foliage in each illustration and then I include the symbols which are in the original tarot cards. I am almost done with the major arcana. After this illustration I need only to create 2 more cards and I am done with this part of the series, and after that I will start the minor arcana to illustrate, for which I am looking forward to learn about all the symbols which are included in these cards, because I am drawn to all those mystical symbols and motifs. If you missed out on my social media, my other tarot illustrations, you can check them out on my Instagram, on Facebook, which are linked in the description of the video. So now comes the fun part, when I need to color the illustration, and I was quite excited to try the Inktense pencils in a full illustration to see how much details I can add in an illustration and how these pencils works. And this is the part when the illustrations comes to life. For the color scheme in general, I am creating a limited color palette in each piece. I create the plants in a blue shade and the other elements I paint in an accent color depending on the theme of the card. So in this one, for the accent color, I went with a purple and violet. About these pencils is that they are water soluble, as I already mentioned, but they are not watercolor pencils. More exactly, they are ink pencils, so the pigment is ink based. So when you activate all the pigments on the paper and you let it dry, after that you cannot reactivate as you could with watercolors or watercolor pencils. Also, these are artist quality pencils, so they have light fastness rating and you can create art with them, and after that you can sell them because the artwork will last for years and years without fading. For the coloring I used 2 techniques. One of them being that I colored the shapes directly with the pencil, and after that I activated the pigments and dissolved them on the paper, and also I moved the pigments with the wet brush. However, I wanted to create the textures, and sometimes I also took the pigments directly from the tip of the pencil with the wet brush. The second technique works better when you want to add some small details in the illustration. These pencils are really pigmented. I didn't need to put too much pressure when I was coloring the shapes with the pencil, so I colored in the shapes with a really light pressure, and it was enough when I was activating the pigment on the paper. And the lead of the pencils is really soft. When I got these pencils, I didn't know if I will like to work with them because it's a quite slower process compared to the watercolors, but it's really fun and I enjoyed the whole process creating the illustration. So this art supply will be one of my favorites to work with in the future. In total now I have 20 pencils which are different colors, but I think that they are enough for beginning because you can easily mix the colors to create new ones. And I love that magic when you activate the pigment on the paper that creates these vibrant washes of ink. And these washes are also dry like you were using ink, and the pigment on the paper activates very easily. These pencils are not cheap, but worth all the money if you enjoy this process. You don't get frustrated in the process in any means, as you could get with other cheaper watercolor pencils. Let me know in the comment section if you already tried out the Derwent Inktense pencils and if you liked it. If you didn't like it, it's fine because it's not for everyone, and I am looking forward to create some other artworks with these pencils. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future content. See you next time with a new project.